Okay, I'd like to call to order this board meeting of the Village of Villa Park Board. Today's August 24th at 7 p.m. And if Clerk Kornecki, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Silella?
Here.
Trustee Kazone?
Here.
Trustee Murphy?
Here.
Trustee Patrick?
Here.
Trustee Tucker?
Here.
Trustee Wagner?
Here.
President Bolfus?
Here. Let's all rise for the pledge and then remain standing for a short prayer. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Wagner has a short prayer for us, please.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions that might affect the residents, staff, businesses, surrounding communities, and all those that enter the village of Villa Park. And continue to remind us that all we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, the next order is public comments on agenda items. Has anyone signed up, Clerk?
I have no one signed up, no.
Okay. We'll get to you later. Amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments to the agenda from the board? Seeing none, we'll move on down to appointments for the boards and commissions. The Sugar Creek Golf Course Administrative Board, Christine Murphy, from 8/24/2020 to 4/30 of 2021. Do we have a motion for the appointment? Trustee Wagner?
I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second? Trustee Patrick? Okay, any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes.
Trustee Silella?
Pass.
Trustee Murphy?
Do I have to abstain?
No.
Since it's me, I can
You can
say
vote.
yes? Okay, yes.
Trustee Patrick?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Bolfus?
Yes. That passes, and we'll move on to item 6, which is the consent agenda, which is the minutes of the board meeting held on July 27th, 2020, and the bill listing for the weeks of July 27th, August 3rd, August 10th, August 17th, in the amount of $1,071,361.82. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda? Trustee Kazone?
Mr. President, I'll make that motion.
Trustee second?
I'll second.
Trustee Costello second. Any questions from the board? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Patrick?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Silella?
Yes.
President Bolfus?
Yes. The next item is the second and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the municipal code related to Class EE liquor license. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. In December of 2019, the Village Board approved a variance and special use request from the owner of 187 East North Avenue, George Bennis Midland Plumbing, to erect a salt dome as an accessory structure, thereby allowing the business to relocate to a more advantageous location. Part of that relocation involves rehabbing the dilapidated building and leasing attached retail space to Baki LLC to operate a new business called Sabrina's. Baki LLC has requested a Class EE restaurant restricted liquor license. Sabrina's is a cafe serving food, beer, wine, and gaming. This ordinance allows Sabrina's to sell retail beer and wine to patrons at tables on the premises, increases the number of Class EE licenses from 8 to 9, and the total of liquor licenses from 67 to 68. Thank you, Your Honor.
Do I have a motion for the second reading? Trustee Wagner?
I'd like to make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Trustee Stella? Any questions or comments from the board? Trustee Tucker?
I just want to make a statement. Although everybody knows I don't like another business in town opening up with gambling. I understand the need for the liquor license to serve beer and wine. With me seeing that's the trend right now. And even though I don't approve of it, the people of Villa Park do, and I said I would vote inclined to what their desires are, so I just wanted to put that on record.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes,
Trustee Patrick?
No.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Silella?
Yes.
President Bolfus?
Yes, with that, the motion passes, and thank you for coming. Okay. And we'll move on to the next one. Item number 8A is an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, establishing temporary executive powers pursuant to Chapter 8, Article 3, Section 8-301 to 308 of the Villa Park Municipal Code, 65 ILCS 5/11-1-6 of the Illinois Municipal Code, and 20 ILCS 3305-11 of the Illinois Emergency Management Act. And this ordinance extends the temporary executive powers contained in ordinance number 4160, approved by the village board on July 27, 2020, until such time as the village board can reconvene in open meeting. Do I have a motion for the ordinance? Trustee Wagner,
I'd like to make that motion.
do I have a second?
I'll
Trustee
second that.
Murphy? Okay. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Silella?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
yes,
Trustee Patrick?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Bolfus?
Yes, that passes. We'll move on to 8B, which is an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, granting a variation to replace an existing conforming blacktop driveway at 454 South Wisconsin Avenue. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The petitioner, Max Hellerman, is seeking to replace an existing legal non-conforming blacktop driveway measuring 18 feet by 43 feet at 454 South Wisconsin Avenue. The subject property consists of 2 driveways when village code permits 1 driveway per lot. One driveway leads to the attached garage and measures 9 feet deep, which provides inadequate space to park a vehicle outside of the garage. A second driveway on the property measures 18 feet wide by 43 feet deep, or 774 square feet. The petitioner would like to replace this second driveway and is therefore seeking a variance, as village code requires non-conforming structures to be brought up to compliance when they are replaced. Without significant modifications to the home, the existing characteristics make it difficult to bring the attached driveway up to code. The Zoning and Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this variance request. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We have a motion for the ordinance. Trustee Wagner,
I'd like to make that motion.
do we have a second? Trustee Patrick? Any questions or comments? Definitely demonstrated a hardship on this one. I went by there and took a look at it. So, okay, with no comments, we'll roll call vote, please.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
yes,
Trustee Silella?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Patrick?
Yes.
President Bolfus?
Okay, with that, that passes. We'll move on to 8C, which is an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, granting a special use and variation for the rear yard for an automotive service, personal vehicle repair and maintenance facility for property located at 225 West Roosevelt Road. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The petitioner is seeking zoning relief to construct a new development for a future Bell Tire store at the subject property. Customers will wait in the waiting area while various parts are installed or services are provided. The new development includes improving the overall site through the construction of a new building, parking lot, landscaping, and lighting. The Zoning and Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request. Thank you, Your Honor.
Do we have a motion for the ordinance? Trustee Patrick,
I'd like to make that motion.
do we have a second? Trustee Wagner?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board? Trustee Wagner?
Just a quick question. So this will be a 10-bay service facility, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Trustee Fiala?
I don't think it was following the offset of the building. Is the building going to be further to the south, or is it going to be favored to the Roosevelt Road side? Because there's such a big lot there, I couldn't figure out exactly through the footprints, where the footprint is going to be.
Okay, maybe Consuelo, could you answer that, please?
Sure. So this is a site plan. The building entrance is at the northwest corner of the building, and the bays are going to be facing west. So the west elevation shown here at the top of the slide indicates that west elevation facing Michigan Avenue. And the entrance is at that northwest corner of the building. So right here is the entrance. And the service bays face Michigan.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Trustee Tucker?
Yeah, I need some clarification, and I apologize to Commissioner Shelansky if I missed it. I know he was having problems with this too. Are we approving a special use and a variance as one group joint thing? Is that what we're voting on? That it's a joint deal, and that if they do not follow the 8 specifications on here, the variance will, the vote will not be approved? Is that what I'm understanding? There's 8 different specifications under this, of that variance.
Yeah, we're going to vote on that, and those 8 that you're referring to, those are the conditions.
Those are the
That they have to
conditions,
meet.
but if they do not follow those conditions, then our vote would be void, right?
Right.
Is that correct? So we're voting on those variances, the 8 conditions to the variance of the special use and the variance of the setback. Is that correct?
That's.
As
I
a
understand it,
group
right,
thing,
Ms.
is that what we're doing?
What? Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay.
I want to make sure we got it right, but that's how I understand, I think that's how Consuelo understands it.
Yeah, so there's 2 motions before you for consideration tonight. One is a special use with the conditions of approval listed, referencing the drawings that were submitted, some standard conditions of approval, and then the variation to the rear yard setback along the south property line.
Okay, so is the variance is B, the special use, is that where these different conditions are under the special use, or are they a group type thing? Because I'm understanding the variance, we're approving a variance or changing that. But are these conditions for the approval of the special use, is that what they're, the 8 underneath it?
I'll defer to Kathy.
Yes, there are conditions to the variance. Approving this automatically approves the special use because it's used, but these are absolute conditions. And if you read it, it says, variance to the required rear yard setback, and only on the conditions that these construction issues are met.
Okay, so the 8 has to do with the variance approval, or the variance thing instead of this, okay. My other question is, in the statement that was put on that requirement of the site, we're requiring a stormwater detention. Is that for the multi-use, seeing it's on a big plot, for all 3 of those things, or are we just causing Bell Tires to take on that stormwater detention?
My understanding, he's buying out of that.
Correct. So this, the stormwater requirements would be specific to the subject parcel, which is that northwest corner of the overall, what has been one lot of record. This is being parceled out just to make up the subject site. So the stormwater detention requirements would be just specific to this.
Just to Bell Tire?
Correct.
Okay, because I was very curious why the other 2 on that plot were not required to have it. Why is it just that one corner parcel?
That property was parceled out previously, so the stormwater detention requirements would be applicable to the proposed development versus you're referring to the shopping center that's just to the east?
Well, I'm talking about, would be the BioLife and the Plant Fitness. They're on the same parcel of land. Why is it not affecting them?
They're
Why is it
actually a
only-
separate parcel.
Okay,
It's a separate lot. This piece of property was subdivided out. was
so
parceled
that
out.
piece of property is
The subject
sublotted out from the other 2, the parcel?
Correct.
So it's been broken off from the
Correct.
other 2? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did that about 3 months ago, trustee.
Well, yeah, I know. I wasn't sure if that's what we had done, is that we had separated that parcel by itself from the other 2.
Yes, we did.
Was what we were doing, and that's why it's only required for that small parcel of land, but yet the other two, BioLife and Plant Fitness, would be affected by the same stormwater detention, why they were not required to follow it, why we're only doing that one little parcel.
So we do have the engineer of the project here that could answer specific questions regarding the stormwater detention.
Hi, Tim Reaper from Wolpert.
A little louder?
Could I take this off?
Yeah.
Tim Reaper from Wolpert. We're the civil engineer on it. I think it has to do with disturbed area because we're disturbing pavement, removing pavement, and building a new building. Then we're kicked into detention. I think that was just a re-tenanting on the eastern parcel. So that the fact that we're disturbing pavement, pulling it up, putting in a building, that kicks us into detention requirement.
Okay. Because you're ripping apart things. Got it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Disturbed area.
Please sign in.
Oh, sure.
Anything else, trustee?
No, that
Anyone else?
clarifies mine.
Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Salella,
Yes.
Trustee Murphy,
Yes.
Trustee Kazone,
I abstain due to a conflict.
Trustee Tucker,
Yes.
Trustee Wagner,
Yes.
Trustee Patrick,
Yes.
President Bolfus.
Yes, so that passes, and we'll move on to the 9A, which is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, confirming the appointment of Marlene Scheibel? Okay. I always have trouble with names, I'm sorry. Don't take it personal. As village treasurer, as the trustees up here can attest to. IMRF authorized agents and IRMA alternate delegate. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. Following a staffing change in May, interim finance director Susan Griffin was appointed interim village treasurer, authorized agent for the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, and alternate delegate for the board of directors of the Intergovernmental Risk Management Agency. The permanent position of finance director has recently been filled by Ms. Marlene Scheibel. These important finance responsibilities must be formally assigned to Director Scheibel to ensure village operations continue without interruption. Thank you, Your Honor.
Do we have a motion for the resolution? Trustee Kazone?
Mr. President, I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second? Trustee Wagner?
I'll second the motion.
Any questions or comments? Trustee Tucker?
I just have a general comment. Our codes are all written if we approve her for the position. Will our codes all have to be changed to the female gender? Because they're all written in male gender right now.
No, we don't.
But
Okay,
we'll make sure as we amend things that will be corrected.
okay, I'm just very curious because they're all written in the male gender. If we approve it, if they have to officially be changed.
Okay. So we're working on some of those already.
Can I just say that emphatically?
Yes, thank you.
I think we talked this week about Fireman's Pension Board.
Yeah.
We're changing that to
It's being done for the
firefighters,
next
so
meeting.
Okay,
we're working on it. There's a lot of gender discrimination in there.
Yeah.
Goes back forever.
Yeah, you know those firemen.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions from the board members? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Patrick,
Yes.
Trustee Murphy,
Yes.
Trustee Tucker,
yes.
Trustee Salella,
Yes.
Trustee Kazone,
Yes.
Trustee Wagner,
Yes.
President Bolfus.
Yes. That passes, and the next item is public comments on agenda items. Is anyone signed up?
I have no
Okay,
one.
no one's here.
May I give
Yeah.
one?
Agenda item, non-agenda items,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Wait.
Oh.
You have your chance during the go-around.
This is public comments.
Okay, either
Yeah.
way is fine. I'm just hoping for an update on something.
Okay, next thing is I requested the manager give us an update on the storm. So we'll turn it over to the manager, and he can probably turn it over to Michael, right?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor, and board. Yes, as everyone's aware, we had a recent storm event where approximately 8,000 properties within Villa Park lost power. ComEd was working around the clock for many days to restore power. Within the village, that Monday evening, we received about 170 calls for down trees with wires, down trees blocking sidewalks, down trees blocking roadways. We did open the Emergency Operations Center that Monday evening. and had a staff there trying to negotiate through all the phone calls and sites, locations, and working through that. So, Your Honor and Board, we're still working through that. We visited most of the areas through town once now to pick up debris or to saw, cut debris. We have used Jefferson Pools parking lot as a debris staging area, and the Lufkin Park parking lot as well as a staging area for debris, wood chips, limbs on the south side of town as well. And so the Village of Villa Park put out a call for mutual aid support Monday evening, early Tuesday morning, and many other municipalities in our region came to our aid. And Your Honor and Board, I'll have Director Guerra come up in a moment and maybe kind of fill in the blanks that I've left, including the name of the municipalities that have helped us or villages. But Your Honor and Board, the street sweeper started today to follow certain routes that have been cleared of the debris to kind of clean up, and we suspect that the street sweeper will be this week, next week, and possibly the week after. We've been through town now collecting the debris. We're going to come through a second time this week and collect the branches or twigs, anything left over on the right-of-way that the folks have brought out that they've cleared also. So we're just going to pick up everything. And Director Guerra, would you like to come forward and kind of fill in any gaps? Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor and Board. Yes, to follow up with Manager Keener's comments with the mutual aid, we had responses from 8 other communities in our region, specifically the City of McHenry, the Village of Palatine, the Village of Hoffman Estates, City of Geneva, the City of Des Plaines, Village of Carroll Stream, Hanover Township, and Huntley Township. So due to the great response and assistance from these communities, really helped us get a lot of the debris off the roads, out of the parkways, and really helped clean up the town. As the manager said, we hit all areas in the town at least once. A few we hit a couple times, but we are kind of going back around too to make sure anywhere that we missed, maybe the first time, or different limbs that have maybe pulled out a little bit after we went by early last week. We'll get those. We're focusing on a lot of there's a lot of hangers. We'll probably be in the trees for the rest of the year, clearing out these branches that are broken, especially as the leaves start falling off. We can start seeing some of the additional damage. And also we're working on trying to come up with a plan now to remove the debris from the parking lots, as the manager says. I think if you drive by our yard on the north side off of Ardmore, you'll see a mountain of chips. We'll start removing those, and we're working on trying to get a lot of the downed limbs that we have piled up out of there. So that is where we're at, and then we'll continue to work to clean up the remainder. Sorry. And I'd like to thank our guys. I think our guys that first night worked a full day, got home, and literally got called right back out, with almost all of them working to about midnight that night just to get the roads passable. And then they've been working like 11 hours for the last 2 weeks trying to get the debris cleaned up. So I like to thank my guys out there, worked with the hard work and the overtime and time away from their families to help assist get all this tree debris cleaned.
Well, on behalf of the board, for myself, I'd like to thank not just your staff, but the Parks Department, the Police Department, the Fire Department, everybody. All of our staff members were putting in overtime. The department heads were in the Emergency Operations Center. I don't know what time you went home, so I went and started driving around about 9:30, and I know you guys were still there, Manager Keener. So I also had some reports that Chief Kosnick was dispatching for DUCOM out of station number 81, and I think our fire department got something like 74 down-wire calls or something that night, so they were busy. I know the police department was busy following up on all those calls too. And thanks for the other municipalities that helped us, because it was just an insurmountable amount of debris. If anybody had a chance to ride around, the streets were just like going through a tunnel, some of them, with all the debris on the side of the roads. The first priority the department did was they went and opened up all the streets so people could get down there, emergency vehicles could get down the streets, and that probably took till about 10 o'clock Monday night after a full day's work, like you mentioned. So I think all of our staff members were involved on this cleanup, and And I just really want to appreciate and thank everybody too for doing all that, and the department heads, so. Okay? So if anybody wanted to had any comment on this item, you can take those now, or we'll save them for your trustees' reports. Okay, we'll go around with the trustees' report. We'll start on my right with trustee Kazone. Oh, clerk's report? Okay, I'll follow my agenda now. Clerk's report.
Actually, I have nothing tonight, so thank you very much.
Okay, now we'll go to trustee Kazone.
Okay. I too would like to thank the village staff. I think everybody did a great job. You know, I used to do that kind of work long ago, and it's not easy doing that, and to keep a whole town going is really a difficult job. You guys did a great job, everybody, you know, like President Balta said, everybody from top down and all the departments, you guys did a great job. Really appreciate that. The Community Pride Commission meeting, which is scheduled for tomorrow, will not be held. There's still a few people on the commission that are not real up on meeting yet. So there's really not a whole lot that's going on with Community Pride, but the spring sweep that was scheduled in May, which has been rescheduled for September 24th, is going on, and I think there's some information on the village website about that, but that is still going. Will be held in the same spot on Home Avenue. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. We'll move over to trustee Wagner.
Thank you, President Boltis. I just have a couple things. First off, I spoke with Susan O'Donnell with the Tri-Town YMCA, and they are doing really great work in the community. They are looking for gently used board games. I think this is for their Wise Kids program. And so if you have gently used board games, you can provide that to them. Their offices are at the Calvary Church in Lombard. I believe that's on Main Street, where you can reach out to her, Susan O'Donnell, at the Tri-Town YMCA website, and they'd really appreciate that. They're also doing a mask drive, from what I understand. This is part of a campaign through Access DuPage. So anyone who can donate masks, that would be appreciated. And then also, they are looking for someone to help out Monday through Friday. They have, in their after-school program, they have some autistic kids, and they're looking for someone who may be able to help with that. So once again, I would encourage folks to reach out to Tri-Town YMCA. As Trustee Kazone mentioned, a spring sweep is coming up. It's actually going to be on Saturday, September 19th, on Home Avenue from 9 a.m. to noon. Many of the groups that were there last year will be there. There may be some exceptions. Watch for details. Love Your Neighbor Day is going to occur on the same day. They're still looking for volunteers. The deadline for signing up to be a volunteer is September 5th. They're doing, it's exclusively outdoor work. And they'll be going from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They will not be meeting at the church. Volunteers will go directly to the work site, and they'll be doing work like carpentry, landscaping, yard cleanup, painting, concrete work, and gutter cleaning. And once again, great effort by them and the Christian Church of Villa Park and other groups as well. Want to let folks know that this coming Saturday, we're going to have a bike registration event and safety education event. And this is sponsored by the police department, and we'll be registering bikes, and this will help aid the police department when they recover a bike, because they'll be able to identify who the owner is. And it'll be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the gazebo on the Prairie Path. The Bicycle, Pedestrian, and Transit Subcommittee will be passing out a limited number of bike lights, reflective wrist and ankle bands, bike education material. So looking forward to that event this coming Saturday, August 29th. And I just want to say thank you to Chief Lay for facilitating the reorganization of our CERT group. We met last week. I know there were some folks who couldn't make it, but I think it's really exciting. A great opportunity for ordinary citizens to do something to help to support our first responders. So that was very exciting. This coming Thursday, August 29th at 6 p.m., the Bicycle Pedestrian Transit Subcommittee will meet, followed by the meeting of the Environmental Concerns Commission. Also want to let folks know that the community-based testing site at the fairgrounds out in Wheaton continues to do COVID testing. And as of October 30th, they will go to a new schedule. They'll be going Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to noon. And thanks to all the volunteers that are helping with that and the folks that are working out there. We are obviously going to be, we're already in the hot weather. And just wanted to, something I saw online that was really a great idea. You've got a lot of folks like postal workers who are right now under a lot of stress. And they'll be walking in the hot weather. So consider putting out a bucket of water for them, with bottled water or something like that. And also, thanks to our Public Works Department, our first responders, they're also going to be working in this hot weather. So thanking them as well. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Ciela.
I just want to quickly echo on President Boltz's comments on the storm cleanup and all the participation by all our members here. It was a great job. I personally firsthand experienced some power lines, primary lines down on my property, and I was pretty surprised at the quick response of the fire department, who was out and secured the area and moved on to their next adventure. So good job, guys. Thank you, and thanks to all the guys from Public Works.
Trustee Tucker.
I just want to applaud our staff also for how quickly I all responded, and they praised a lot of the police department, the fire department for their ability to answer their calls, because they kind of expected you guys to delay and put them on hold when the lines came down, and we heard a lot of them say, you couldn't do anything, but you protected their property and made sure that injury wasn't happening, and you responded and gave them credit, at least that you were aware of it. So I wanted you to let you know that we did get answers to those that they applaud you. And of course, Public Works, we applaud you guys for staying with it. You were out long hours, and the guys were very generous for people that were a little upset with them that they didn't do it a lot quicker. And your staff just nicely answered them, said, we're moving as quick as we can. So I wanted to let you know that I know you came across a lot of angry people that felt you didn't do it, but we applaud you for having your staff keep going and working through those hard times and getting our village back up and running as quick as we possibly can. The second thing is, with Labor Day weekend coming up, please keep the social distancing going on and keep that in mind. I know there'll be a lot of groups getting together and families getting together, but please, for the safety of all of us in the village, keep that in mind, to follow the mask and the social distancing and kind of keep everybody in concern. We'd like to keep DuPage County numbers going down. We don't want to join the rest of the districts that seem to be going up. So I would appreciate it if you keep that in mind as you enjoy the holiday.
Okay. Trustee Patrick.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. 2020 has been quite the year, and if anything has gone wrong or could go wrong, it kind of has. And to add to everything, the storm from 2 weeks ago really didn't help matters any. I would like to say that I am extremely proud of our village staff. From the village manager to Public Works Department, Parks and Rec, police and fire departments. thank you guys, thank you all for your hard work and devotion to duty. It really shows. So thank you there. But it wasn't just our village staff. It was our residents too. There were a lot of good Samaritans out there, out and about, doing good deeds and helping where help needed to be. One resident in particular that I would like to recognize is Mike Orlowski. There was a big tree in particular by our house that had fallen across the entire street. It was blocking pathways for first responders and ComEd to get through. And I had no way of getting through and helping to break down that tree and move it off to the side so they can pass through. But Mike showed up in a white pickup truck with a really big chainsaw and started going to work on it. And I found out that Mike actually lived several blocks away, and I was not the first stop that he had been to. He had been to 4 other stops helping other people clear debris that needed help as well. With how 2020 has been going, to see efforts by our village staff and our residents come together like this, it was really refreshing to see. So thank you all for your hard work and your effort. It was really good to see. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Murphy?
Yes, I have 2 things tonight. The residents might have noticed that we have census people walking through our village, working hard to count all of our residents. It's so important if everyone would just please be very kind and supportive of their efforts. They're trying very hard to get our percentages up, and there are revenue numbers that are working in favor of our village for everyone that does respond. So they do all have identification, so don't be concerned. If you are concerned, ask them for identification. All of the briefcases say census on them, and they all have IDs. So if you would be kind enough to just be kind to them, be patient with them, and be supportive of the questions that they're asking, it will be very helpful from a financial perspective to the village. Secondarily, I'm hoping we can get an update from Public Works on the road work on Park and Ardmore and our timeline and what's happening in that area.
Yes, thank you, Trustee Murphy. Yeah, unfortunately, I wish I had a better answer. The good news is, the good and the bad of having one contractor win several bids is that we are kind of chasing them from project to project to keep them on moving and all going forward. Unfortunately, Park has kind of taken a back seat on that, and so they've kind of came and gone. We're expecting them to be removing the curb and started the patchwork this week. Right now, that crew is still really over on Astor Myrtle as they're planning to start putting pavement down on Astor Myrtle to start wrapping up that project. And as that crew kind of wraps up, they're supposed to be moving over. So we've been having weekly meetings with the contractor to try to keep them on schedule, on task. And right now, that crew that's part of our 2020 streets, they've been up on Vermont, prepping Vermont for removals as well. So unfortunately, having 3 projects, we've been kind of only getting about 1 or 2 crews from that contractor, and they're just kind of moving around the different projects. So that made Park kind of take a back seat. They're planning to remove it. I just don't have a good answer on the exact time frame because it's been kind of been rescheduled different times on us, and so I don't have an exact answer for you at this time, but it is something we're working to keep that contractor moving to complete that project here in a time frame that's a little bit more acceptable.
Do you have any insight, once they get started again, how long they will be in that area in an effort to get that work completed?
I imagine might be a couple weeks in that area because obviously we have Park on the Park Avenue side. We're replacing the curb sidewalk all along the southern section. Then we have some patching in the road to fix some deficiencies. There's a few locations where the road has kind of crumbled underneath that we got to fix. And then we're also doing that alley. So we got to kind of coordinate due to the businesses in that location not to have Park closed and the alley because that restricts access to a few of the businesses there. So we've been working with our consulting engineers to make sure that there's good communication with those businesses and the residents behind them as we get information from the contractors. So it'll probably be staged a little bit because obviously if we have the alley closed for a week, there's a funeral home in that area with the parking lots on the backside. We don't try to facilitate that. So I'd imagine we don't try to push them to get back over there this week. It might be still another week, and then it'll probably be about 2 to 3 weeks for them to complete. I think overall, I would have to actually look at the contract, but I believe they have to be completed by sometime in October, so there's only a few more weeks really left on that contract. So I think I would expect to see a lot more work occurring here, especially as Yale and Astor Myrtle, that's the same contractor, they're starting to wrap up those projects, and then they can kind of focus on the Streets 2020 improvement project.
Will that work include Ardmore where they have the cover over the bump?
Correct, yeah. That was a location, I kind of, you always have hindsight's 2020. We did make them plate it knowing that's a busier road, but we were not anticipating it to be plated this long. But yes, that will, as part of that project, they put a drain into the alley to improve drainage in the alley. I think that was an issue with that alley, ponding water. So they tied in the drain, but that needs to be patched back to full depth asphalt.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to President's report. Most everything has been addressed by the trustees and myself. One thing, when we read off the names of all the departments that were busy on the storm night, we forgot one. A lot of times they're not recognized, but the fleet maintenance guys. They're busy too, making sure all the stuff is operating and making sure that nothing's going to break down. So they're also a big part of the storm event too. One other quick thing is on COVID-19. DuPage County, we're still just a little over 4% positivity rate. Listening to the update from the DuPage County Health Department today, they are a little concerned that maybe it might tick up a little bit, especially with school starting. Nobody really knows how that's going to work out. And we're in also with Kane County. Kane was above 5, but they've come down now. So we're together. We're just about 4.4, I think it is, something around there. So I just want to stress to everybody: wear the masks, wash your hands, watch your distancing. So. The last thing is Coffee with the Board is on September 5th. That's the Labor Day weekend. So we'll probably cancel Coffee with the Board for that weekend. So on September 5th. So with that, I'll move on to the manager's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. I received the official correspondence from the L Department of Transportation that they've received documentation review number 67 covering the receipt and disbursement of MFT funds by the village for the period beginning January 1st, 2018 and ending December 31st, 2018. It's been certified as correct, and Your Honor and Board, I had to read that into public record.
Okay.
And then, Your Honor and Board, if I may, we've had 3 sort of recent hires, and due to the pandemic and wearing face masks and limiting folks into the public buildings, they may not have been properly introduced to the board, to you, Your Honor, and of course folks at home. So what I wanted to do is kind of read a short bio about the 3 individuals, and maybe they can stand up and maybe come to the podium and wave or something, Your Honor. But
Can they put their masks down?
yes. Thank you, Your Honor. So the first individual is Mrs. Marlene Scheibel, came to the village most recently from the village of Lake Bluff, where she served as Assistant Finance Director for the last 12 years. Marlene is a certified public accountant, certified public finance officer, certified management accountant, and has a bachelor's degree in commerce and accounting. Marlene began her employment with the village's Director of Finance on Monday, August 3rd.
Thank you, everyone. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you.
And, Your Honor, I want to move on to Mrs. Consuelo Arguelles. Comes to the village most recently from the village of Mount Prospect, where she served as the Deputy Director of Community Development and Senior Planner for the last 8 years. Consuelo has a master's degree in urban planning is fluent in Spanish. Consuelo began her employment with the village as Director of Community Development on Friday, May 1st. And the last one, Your Honor, is Mr. Michael Guerra. Came to the village of Villa Park from Pekin, Illinois, where he served as city engineer for the last 9 years. Michael has a master's degree in public administration and is a certified professional engineer, PE. Michael began his employment with the village as Director of Public Works on Wednesday, April 1st. Thank you. And with that, Your Honor, I pass.
Okay. Well, we're at the end of our agenda, but this gentleman just came in. So, you have any comments on a non-agenda item?
Probably.
Okay, then, come up to the mic, it's your turn, we're almost done.
All right, I know,
State your name and sign in up there, please.
Will do. My name is Brad Bender. I live at 310 Pine Street in Villa Park. This is in regards to the Maple area street renovation project. We came here with a group of my constituents back in May, where we had several people that had flooding issues at the same time that the backflow valve was happening, I believe, on Washington Street. Last time I was here, we asked a couple of questions, and I was looking to see if there was any answers so far. Last time, we said that there was 95% completed as far as the engineering goes. Are we at 100% completion on engineering?
We are.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Have we applied for the, I think it's the TIF loans for that?
IEPA,
I'm sorry, what is that?
Illinois Environmental Protection.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Well, that one. Have we started the process on applying for the loans for our project?
Thank you, Your Honor. The next board meeting, I think it's September 14th, we'll have the documentation at that time for approval, yes.
Oh,
And that'll be for a loan through the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency at a very advantageous interest rate.
Cool. Well, that's fantastic. Well, that's great. Then the only other question I have, so it looks like everything's pretty much right in check with where we were saying for 2021 to start the project and get things moving, so that's fine. The only other question I did have was that on this sheet that was distributed by you guys, or by the village, can't remember when this was put out. This was, you know, to say what the future project plan was and everything like that. I don't know if you guys recall this. But on here, the thing that kind of stood out to me was that there's this little street right here. It's called Euclid. All right, and they guys had redone the you repaved that area, redid the sidewalks, the curbs, and everything like that. But on this plan here, it calls for this little pink line where it says future. So that's to be done at a future date. Yet this one was accelerated back in 2017 when that was completed. And I just wanted to know what was the purpose of accelerating that particular street.
I think it was tied on with another project,
I
wasn't
think it was too, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Usually that's what happens.
Yeah.
But there was no other work that was done around in our neighborhood
Well-
other than that one street.
Oh, Euclid up on your area.
Yeah, north side Euclid.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, so we'd have to check.
Yeah, if you could, because I just, you know, I understand that there was a change, I believe, in the guard of the village managers or some, I'm not sure if it was the village manager or.
Village
some-
engineer, yeah.
So, and I don't know if that was just, you know, kind of a red flag in my book, that well, why would that area get accelerated when it wasn't even on the plan
Yeah.
to be done? You know, and I didn't want it to take away from money that should have been used towards the Maple area project or something of that nature where, you know, just as a regular citizen, I thought that that was something that was a little bit suspicious.
Give your phone number to Michael right over there with the black suit on,
Okay,
okay?
yep, not a problem.
All right.
Yeah, please
you very
sign
much.
in. Please sign
Did you
in,
sign in?
Mr. Bender.
Okay, with that, we entertain a motion to adjourn. Trustee Kazone, second
I'll make
trustee
that motion.
Stella.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
With that, we're adjourned.